Got so tired of waiting, got tired of the chase. I've been feeling like lately there's nothing in the way. Getting so impatient, need to get away now with you. With you. Are you out there dancing alone? Are you up on your own? Baby, I wanna know just how many days will go till I call you my own. You look good in the sunshine, you look good in the rain. And I know once that you're mine, we'll have nothing to change. Getting so impatient, need to get away now with you. With you. Are you out there dancing alone? Are you up on your own? Baby, I wanna know just how many days will go till I call you my own. Are you out there dancing alone? Are you up on your own? Baby, I wanna know just how many days will go till I call you my own. I'm laying down it to compile it. Oh no, I see you only when you're ballin'. Oh no, I don't even care to doubt. I'll see you in a while, 'cause this time I will choose you, yeah. I'll choose. You know exactly how to look like this. Holding in a bag full of goods and needs. I need a night like this. Knowing it's a risk 'cause you're using it. You got all your secrets. I can seem to move this thing. You're pulling me out and I'm right back in the sideline where you wanted me. I'm by the byway waiting for your lead. I don't wanna fall in love like this, but I can't help to fall for you repeatedly. I don't wanna seem to shaky. Oh no, like I'm sudden but I'm steady. Oh no, and they tell me to move on 'cause I deserve more, but still I wanna choose you, yeah. I'll choose. fall in love like this. But I can't help to fall for you repeatedly.
Something I can never be without, yeah. I'm in your command. Thought I was a man of my own will. It's been 2 years. I'm only a shadow of the good on me now. A breeze in my ear. Cause you know I cannot say no to you. Feeling like home. But should it be like this? Locked up in your dome, you know I fight for you. What do I? Every time you call my name, what do I? You're whipping me into madness. I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I? We can't stop it, so I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. I find myself apologizing when you've started it. Why? Under a spell. I really wonder how did it come to this? Go see my friends, but then I realize they're all your friends. Is this who I am? You see me running around in circles, feeling so sweet, but should it be like this? I'm loving the heat, I think I'm losing it. What do I? Every time you call my name, what do I? You're whipping me into madness. I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I? We can't stop it, so I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. Is this really healthy? Maybe I need therapy, yeah. Red carpet for you. Let me hold your bag. I'll carry your shoes. I think I've lost it. What do I? Every time you call my name, what do I? You're whipping me into madness. I try to lay low, but I can never stay away from you. What do I? We can't stop it, so I keep on rolling in silence. So I keep on rolling in silence. Keep on playing in silence. What do I?
Ladies and gentlemen, hello everybody. Good to see you, Dave Neal here, and welcome. Oh man, we're gonna be kicking it today. How's everyone doing out there? You guys ready? You guys doing good? Got my workout in. I still got that post-workout sweat. You know, you try to get it out of the way, and your body's like, not in your 30s. In your 30s, you sweat for a while. Anyway, I'm feeling good. That coffee's kicking. So nice. I cleaned the sink today, folks. That's not a metaphor. I scrubbed that sink. I got down on it. Erica knows what's up. Your boy's here. That's right. Good to see you. Now, wait a second. Hold on. All right, there it is. Okay. We had some technical difficulties the other night. We are running perfectly today. So I got this new cord right here for $7.99. I got this to plug into my phone to take your phone calls. And people had mentioned you can do better phone calls on Discord, which I totally agree with. I just don't trust the audiences. We don't have enough audience on Discord yet. And I know if I made all the voicemails go through Discord, we'd get a few more people, but we'll get there soon. Cora wants that domestic Dave update. Dave is sink cleaning. Yeah, boy. Long gone are the linen shirt Dave days. We are back to cleaning the sink. Boy, an explosion of views this week, up 50%, a full 50% climb this week, thanks to Grippo and Katie Thurston. So thank you, Grippo. Tasha gets a new pair of shoes, which is kind of an ongoing joke. I don't actually buy Tasha many pairs of shoes, but you know. Alrighty, so in today's chat, I'll show you that TikTok I showed earlier, which is some evidence that, now of course we know breakups in Bachelor Nation are edited, you know, a 90-minute conversation becomes 3, this and that, but to be edited in a way that would make Katie look bad and make Greg look good. Now look, I'm not the biggest conspiracy theorist, because this is strange. Why would they want to make Katie look bad and make Greg look good? And then you think, well, I think it's less about making Katie look bad and more in making Greg look good. I think they did edit this show and imagine that he might be the next guy, the next Bachelor, which I would be shocked if they do that now. Shocked. What do you guys think? Let's get to Haley here. Haley hitting us with the old TikTok headshot right there, Haley. Go easy. Save some for the rest of us. Even if it was edited, as a compliment. I wasn't trying to sound like I don't even know. Sometimes I feel like, did I come off like a dick? I meant, you had a nice photo. Okay, all right. Boy, even if it was edited, I'm just constantly worried about being canceled. You know what I mean? Greg still mentioned Katie not giving him the response he wanted several times the next day, so she still, according to Greg, gave him no response, whether it's edited. I don't know. She ran after him, you know? That's the kind of like, sometimes in a relationship, you look for one specific thing, and your partner is giving you something else, and you need to accept what your partner can give you, Maybe she had like really strict, weird hang up on giving him some sort of affirmations, but like she's literally running after him. It's like, are we going to get hung up on semantics or not? You know what I mean? Anyway, welcome to the chat, everybody. 181. Thank you so much. And we will talk about a few different things. We will talk about what's going on for Michelle Young's season. Get into that. Take some voicemails. Feel free to call in. Leave a voicemail. Actually, I don't have the voicemail graphic for this page here. I had to recreate my deck because I accidentally deleted something. But it makes it run a lot faster now. I had to just get rid of a lot of files here. So I guess if you don't have the voicemail number, let me see if I can find that for you. Voicemail. I could just tell it to you guys. I think we all have the number at this point. Let me see if I can find this file. That's some good iced coffee. I like to make 10 cups of coffee in the morning. I don't know, maybe that's not 10 full cups, but I set my coffee maker to a 10. That's like as far as it'll go. I drink what is the equivalent of one large mug worth of coffee. Tasha drinks half and throws it out. Ladies, just finish your mug of coffee. There's just wounded mugs everywhere. And then I take the rest and I chill it in the fridge. And then I add a little monk fruit, which is a sweetener, no calories. And then I add some Trader Joe's coconut creamer. And let me tell you something, your boy is ready to party. Just looking for this voicemail. You know what? Let's just do this. I can't find it offhand, so I'm just gonna do this. Leave a voicemail. Oh, hold on, I messed that up. Let's do this. Leave a voicemail. And then, Tasha? Is that Tasha? You're home so early. I was making sure someone wasn't breaking in. Yeah, haha. Everybody, tell them what you just said. No. Tell them what you just said. Your boy was just bragging about it. Tell everybody what you just said.
I said, kitchen looks nice.
And here I was going, I had so much coffee, I was cleaning the sink. And everyone was like, oh boy, linen shirt Dave is really falling. I was like, yeah, it's domestic Dave now. Did I spell that right? Voicemail?
Yes.
I didn't put any spaces in there. I think they'll be fine. Anyway, how you doing?
Good.
Feeling better?
Yeah.
See, I picked up the poop in the.
Thank you.
Boy, picked up the poop, cleaned the sink. Your boy is a stay-at-home dad right here. Have some iced coffee, Tasha. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see. Should we take some voicemails? So we're getting another Bachelorette before the Bachelor. Well, we got Bachelorette coming. You know, Michelle Young's season is starting to film this week. We'll get into that in a few minutes. So you got some voicemails here. Yeah, very busy. All right, let's get into this. 200 likes. Or 200 people in the comment section there. Yeah, you're right. That's my bad. That's not the number. Wow. 401 2 9802 9802 9802, is that the right number? Oh my gosh. No, this is the number. Hold on. Is this it? Tasha, I just gave him the wrong number. Delete that last number I gave you. That wasn't it. That's my gynecologist. Don't call him. I'm sweating, guys. I thought I wouldn't be, you know, I was out. What I like to do is I do my workout. I got the weights outside at literally 20 minutes of working out, you know what I mean? And then I sit in the chair for 10 minutes and just let the sun hit me. And and I got the AC on, but my internal clock is still hot. Yeah, sorry guys, I just gave you all the wrong number here. Let's double check that this is the right number. I gotta look on my thing here. You know, I'm having a little bit, you know, when everyone said, oh, Katie couldn't remember African countries, I go, look, I just gave you, like, I have a memorized number and I just gave you the wrong one. So I'm not saying that, you know, but sometimes, you know, 9828. See, this is not the right one. Hold on. 9828. That's the number. So if you called someone else, tell them I said hi. 213-9828. That's the number. Yeah, under pressure. I mean, I don't know if it's pressure. Still, Min goes, still the wrong number. Sarah, 9828. All right, you guys got the number? You guys good? Quit messing with me. I'm kidding. That's I definitely gave you the wrong phone number there. Let's go to some voicemails and see if this system works. You guys ready to do this? So thanks to you guys, you know, my phone, it was one of those issues I should have resolved months ago, but my phone goes up to sleep at 30 seconds. And then you guys were so graciously telling me that, you know, I could simply change my sleep mode to like whenever. So I changed it to 2 minutes. So my phone won't go away. And at the same time, I got this cord, so let's see if it works. You guys ready? Let's go to this number calling from California. Let's see what we have here. Yep, and it's already not working. All right, folks. Dock speaker. It says the dock speaker. So it should be in. But we don't hear that at all. Are we not plugged in? All right, hold on a second. Dock speaker? No, it shouldn't be a speaker. All right, hold on, folks. We got to figure this out. You gotta be kidding me. I used it earlier. Here we go. We're plugged in. We got this. Yeah, it's not working. Settings. Let's go to settings. Incoming calls. Gosh, you know. I know sometimes you go, oh, we like it when you mess up, Dave, but I just feel so unprofessional sometimes. I really do. Why the heck isn't this working? I have it plugged in right there. Let's see. We're plugged in. I got the thing right here. Plugged in. Let's turn it up. Let's turn it the other way. I know that's not going to be the difference, but let's just see. You know what I mean? Let's see what we got here. All right. We might have to do Bluetooth. There's dock speaker. What is dock speaker? Greg was an actor from the beginning and used the platform for an acting audition. Ryan, listen, I couldn't agree less. Anybody who studies acting, has friends that are actors, you get coffee afterwards, not one person would ever say, hey, you want some acting advice? You should go on Bachelor for exposure. Name me one person who's been on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette that has developed an acting career. Please, one person. Not some bit role, not Tyler Cameron in a movie. One person. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't necessarily technology. I just thought we had the system set up here. I thought I had it down, but I guess not. Tasha, I bought this stupid thing and it's not working. I swear I had it working earlier. Wow, Bitcoin's up 10%. Good to know. Get these stupid updates as if I haven't lost all my money in Bitcoin. No, it still doesn't work. All right, we're going back to Bluetooth, guys. I tried my best. I spent the $7. Let's go to Bluetooth. You got to be kidding me. You know, you'd think you'd work it out, but I said, oh, you know what? Plug it in. It's technology. You just got to plug it in. Let me do this. Let's go here. We should be connected now on Bluetooth. Let's play a voicemail so I can stop sweating for a second. We'll get into this. Thank you guys for hanging out here. It's okay. Okay, we have major problems.
That the loss
there
of
we
his
go.
father.
All right, here we go. Jeez.
Calling from California. I think Greg's behavior was very violent. He meets all the criteria of an abuser. I don't agree that the loss of his father precipitated his treatment of Katie. I'd be interested in knowing what other experiences other women have had with him. I think he's a spoiled asshole. Check out his phony acting response when one of his reaction and he turned his head and put his fist in his mouth. I mean, it was so phony and so dramatic. Can you imagine what he would have been capable of if they were married and living together, where there was no easy way to walk away from the situation, where there was no recording of his actions? He flat out terrorized her right in front of a worldwide audience. If he had done that in front of others, especially in front of the men who would clearly be protective of her, he'd have had hell to pay. I think he's a bully and a liar and needs to be publicly shamed and called out for his horrific treatment of Katie, period. Thanks, Dave. You do a good job.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel. Oh, man. Jasmine said, actors want to be famous. Greg is now a little more famous. I hear your generalization. I also disagree with that. I think good actors that continuously work are actually not famous. You don't recognize them. They work in a bunch of things. They're amphibious, amorphous. I don't know what the word is. You know what? I quit. You okay? You know what? I do appreciate your comments. I'm just no longer going to defend the acting thing. I'm just over it. It's not you guys, it's me. I guess I'm triggered. Let's move on. Hey, Sharon donated $5, sending you love on my birthday. Oh boy. It's Sharon's birthday. We didn't know it was Sharon's birthday. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, wishing Sharon Devoto a devoted birthday. Give it up for the old SD card herself. Plug it in. Show us some of your RAM. That's a memory card joke. It's called an SD card. Insert initials. It really didn't make any sense. You know what? Have an excellent birthday. Thank you for gifting me a super chat on your birthday. I appreciate that. This is a 1980s rendition of Happy Birthday. So happy birthday to you. I got a super chat on someone's birthday. They sent. That's the new thing. It's when it's your birthday, you send me money. That's the new thing. What are you looking for? Look at. Oh, I put it above the it's above the eggplant. All right. One Sweet Angel disagrees with that last voicemail. Says, you only saw 20 minutes of this fight, so you can't really get both sides and who was right or wrong. That's very true. But in the end, you know who the winner is of a fight? The person who doesn't walk away. You know what I mean? So I sided with Katie on that. If he was like, you know what? I disagree on so many different things, but I'm committed to trying to make this relationship work, then it's a bigger man situation. The dude ran away. Run away, Kwai BB. You know, it's kind of like, what did she do that was that bad other than play within the rules? Know what I'm saying? Alrighty. Okie dokie. Danny. Oh, let's go to Danny in Vegas. Hold on, let's get this.
Fabulous. Hi, Dave. This is Danny from Fabulous Las Vegas. This is my first time calling in, although I've been following since, quote unquote, the Queen Victoria days.
Wow.
Anyway, I just wanted to say I love the video that you did with Dr. Diane.
Yeah.
And when she was talking about attachment theory and how Katie is probably anxiously attached, she was saying that these types of people need others that are secure with themselves and take time to think things over. And I was like, you mean Blake? You mean Blake, right? Because there is no way that Blake isn't a grounding force for Katie. And I'm really sorry that she had to go through everything with Greg and that it kind of blew up and it ended the way that it did. But come on, Greg, move on out. I just want to see my girl fall in love with Blake. So thanks for everything that you do. And yeah, hope you have a great day.
On behalf of the ladies of my chat room, Greg, bye. I guess that's a bye. And you know me, like I'm in full support of Greg not being a rotten human. I don't think he needs to be publicly shamed. I think whatever the audience decides to do, the wrecking ball is going to go way past his actual crimes. And I think, and again, I don't blame people, but I think a lot of people are triggered and saw their own hurt surface from seeing that. That's what triggering is. You bring back past feelings. It's like when you watch a video of some guy getting, kicked in the nuts, you go, ooh, you vicariously just reimagine how it felt. And that's not always it's not a good thing to feel triggered. But it doesn't mean like get mad at yourself for feeling triggered. It just means, and I talked about this with Dr. Diane, getting triggered means you still have that thing you need to let go of. Now, again, I'm not victim blaming whatsoever. If I have something that's triggering me, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example that's very minute. It's a very irreverent example here. One of the last stand-up shows I did before the pandemic, I bombed. I did really bad. I had a show. I do a mimosa stand-up show in the morning on weekends. I do it once a month before the pandemic where we do mimosa. It's a free mimosas and stand-up comedy. It's a blast. And I got a little drunk. Okay, as you do when you host a mimosa stand-up show. I drank a little too many mimosas, and that show was at 11 a.m. By 3 p.m., I'm passed out. I ended up taking like a 3-hour nap. I woke up at the beginning of the stand-up show. I had another one later that night, and I felt like a failure. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not prepared. I woke up late. I rushed to the show. It was at this really exclusive venue, valet, you have to dress up, all these things. It was at the Soho House, which is like a really exclusive place. And I immediately bombed on stage. I got on stage, I ran in, I was one of the last comics, did my set, bombed, not bomb, like I'm crying on stage, but it did not go well. And I was like, oh man, you know what I mean? And then the pandemic hit and I couldn't do stand-up for like over a year, other than a couple of random shows. And that feeling stuck within me, like that bomb stuck within me, which might not sound like a lot to others, but when you like live and die by your career and your place within your peer group and all these things, it meant a lot to me to overcome that. Plus, I felt like I let down the guy who booked the show because I like showed up late and I didn't even do well and all these things. Well, tonight I'm going to go see another show and that guy is going to be there and I'm excited just to see him and like squash things. Now, the guy likes me. It's not even like the guy doesn't like me, but I feel like I need to like relive the connection I have with that guy in that social circle in order to get over that poor taste I have on how I acted on the last show. Now, like I said, getting triggered in a much deeper, painful way with the relationships that are toxic and gaslighting and whatever the case may be, completely harder to do. But we should all aim to get therapy in whatever way we can to overcome all of the pieces of our past that are stuck inside of us. You know what I mean? And of course, my example sucked. Sorry about that. But, I wanted to relate it in a way that I could. La da 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 do do. Da 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 da. All right. I don't know what these are in response to. Sorry, Dave, my mom says hi. She's a first-time watcher. Hey, Abby. Hello, Mrs. Reed. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Gonna play some voicemails. Thank you so much for being a part of the crowd today. Let's go here. Let's go to David. Is this David?
Yeah, I'm Dave. It's Sarai.
Oh, Sarai.
I'm currently at my dog sitting job.
Hello, Sarai.
Next Monday, so I'm happy to be actually away from home for a little bit, but I normally don't like asking for help. The kind of person who likes to try and do things on her own. I'm independent that way, but the stray cat that I took in, she's got an upper respiratory infection, and I could only afford the homeopathic stuff like I got from Petco, and I don't know if it's working. So, and she's got 3 or 4 people interested in her, but at the same time, I don't want to give them a sick cat. So I set up a GoFundMe thing. I normally don't like asking for help, but I'm kind of like at my last wit's end because I can't afford a vet bill because I don't know how long she's been on.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting a phone call. I'm trying to listen to your voicemail, and I get a phone call calls in. I don't even know who that is, but sorry about that.
Set up a GoFundMe, and I'll set up a link in the chat after you play this voicemail. So any help would do. I'm not asking for a lot, but just $20, $15 will help just to get it going. So any help will do. All right, thanks, guys.
Sarai, I'm sorry. I was trying to listen, and there was cats in a GoFundMe. I'll click on the link, and I didn't have any of this info beforehand, so I don't have any tabs pulled up for you. But by all means, we're here to support. I'm getting I should be like the poster child for like getting medication. I'm trying my best, folks.
Hey, Dave, it's Ebony from Portland, and I was just calling to say that at first I was totally on Greg's side. I was slightly triggered because I have felt the same way as Greg before in relationships.
Wow.
But after I had some time to mull it over, and especially after I rewatched the clips, I have to say that he acted completely inappropriately, and he definitely owes Katie an apology. So, yeah, keep up the good work. Peace out. Later.
Think you so much. When you said you had to mull it over, I'm sober, by the way. I heard in my head mull it over, and I thought there was like some phrase that happens in Portland where you turn the mullet over. And you know what? Turning the mullet over sounds like the best like redneck way to get over something. You know, my fiance left me, and she burnt down the trailer park, but I need to start anew, so I'm just going to turn the mullet over and get this party going. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm glad we see things in ourselves. I saw part of me in Greg. When I was talking to Dr. Diane about it, I could see my own insecurities. Like sometimes we do things where we will like tell someone something, and like this is popular within the Catholic Church, at least where in my household, where like when you do something for someone else, you expect you start to get bitter because like no matter what you do for them, they can't possibly give as much back to you. So it's like learning how to give without needing to receive is important, and that's kind of it. Like Greg gave her all this stuff, and she couldn't give it back to him, so he's like, "But I gave it to you," and it's like, "Yeah, bro, you need to not expect a response, and then you can." Anyway, but Bruce knows what I mean. Turn the mullet over and put a bird on it. That's what you got to do. That should be yeah, you want to see, I mean, I've had a mullet before. I don't have any photos, but if you can find one, I need to write down turn the mullet over, because that's going to be like a new phrase. Turn the mullet over. And I just imagine someone like Joe Exotic just being like, time to turn the mullet over. And he just like flows it to the other side of the hat, and and there's like a nice tan line there. So Sarai, I do apologize. there. It wasn't, I was trying to listen, but I was trying to like dodge this phone call I was getting. You ever get a phone call and it just rocks your world when you don't know who it is, and you immediately are like, oh boy, who's pregnant? You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's go to Brazil.
Hi, Dave. This is Laura from Brazil. And first of all, I really appreciated the talk you had with the psychologist. I just watched that video, and it was really enlightening. Also, during the episode, I really went back and forth about how I felt about Greg and the situation, but I feel like that conversation with the psychologist really cleared it up for me, because, well, it's important to see from everyone's perspective and try to understand the situation, not just like throw like pop psychology names that we have. But either way, what I'm calling about today is about this edit. Like, did they give Katie a bad edit? Are they thinking about Greg for The Bachelor? And do you think that they could change how they edit after the final rose? Like how they change the edit after this whole like backlash after Monday's episode? So So they clearly already taped it and they already edited it, but would they change again just because of the perception that people had from this week's episode? Do you think they would do that? And also, I'm having a hard time understanding why they would give Katie a bad edit. She is the lead, so why would they do that? And how could they possibly want to make Greg look good, even though like 90% of Bachelor Nation is kind of not really looking at him through a good lens right now. So I'm just curious about that. What do you think about it? If you feel like they would change after the final rose edit just because of this whole thing that's been happening this week. So thank you. Sorry for the long message. Have a good day.
Bye. Laura, what's up with the perfect American accent? You're calling from Brazil. You sound very nice accent you have there. And by the way, shout out to Tim Barrow here, fellow Lambda Chi Alpha alumni, correct? Am I right, Tim? Good to see you, man. What are you up to? How you been? Hope everything's well over there in Rhode Island. Things are going okay out here. We're in a heat wave in Los Angeles. Pretty warm out here. It's a dry heat, as they say. So to answer your question, you know what? Let's just get right into this. Let's play the video of how they may have manipulated this scene. Okay, so I know I was talking about this earlier. Let's play this video and we'll see. Now the question was, and correct me if I'm wrong, will they sort of like learn their lesson and not? No, not at all. They thought Greg fit all the boxes, and I don't think they were expecting to get this result from the audience. But there was enough like emails and ruffling of feathers offline that people were commenting on his character that I think folks were ready to. I think they were ready to see kind of this all go down. But judging by the in memoriam that they had last episode, I mean, it's like, who knows? Who knows what the Bachelor producers were thinking? Were they trolling? When I do the in memoriams, I do them as like a funny kind of like play dust in the wind and like, a bad breakup. I think they did it to like elicit some sort of sympathy for him. I don't know. Let's just play.
I think you're like beautiful and I think you're great. I didn't know I was going to fall in love with you. I didn't know that.
So Katie is wiping down Greg's tears here after he just confessed his love for her. Her arm is still stretched out here, and cut to this shot of Greg, no hand, no tears, dried eyes. It's not that Greg wasn't allowed to be upset last episode. It was more that he could have handled things differently the next day, but that's like a whole other conversation. This was more to point out that there's a lot that gets left out on the editing floor, including whatever was said in between Greg's love confession and Katie's response, as we can see in the jump cut that I just pointed out. Except producers wanted us to believe that that was one continuous conversation and that Katie's "I love looking at your face" response was like the only response that he got in order to make, I don't know, like the argument from the next day more explosive. But just keep in mind that we don't always see everything in the show.
We don't always see everything in the show. Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it. Nums Yum is in the house. Good to see you, Nums Yum. Boy, Nums Yum really came together today. Can we show Nums Yum? I tell you what, I got a package from Nums Yum, I think for my birthday, and I'm still recovering from the amazing sugar high that I received. Although I will say, your food is pretty... You do have a pretty, you do have healthy options, but that I got to tell you, your chocolate chip cookies were to die for. Now let's check this out. I don't know if I can play the audio because of the licensing, but let's check out your new reel. Yeah, this is the new reel. They do that Cinderella. And then we got, how great is this? This is Nums Yums, guys. You got to go give her a follow. How great is that? Wasted Barbie 21st cake. What does this go for, Nums Yum? What are you What are you doing? What are you doing? What a beautiful, obviously we know this is not only funny, but amazing. But what makes it really funny is the attention to detail in your artwork, Nums Yum. This is what makes it funny. You've got literal like gold glaze layered cake here with whatever this puffy thing is when you squeeze the whipped topping or whatever. So the punchline, this wouldn't work if this was like a drunk Barbie on top of a cupcake, but you got wasted Barbie on top of a decadent dessert, which makes the punchline so much funnier here. So congratulations on that. And if anyone is in the Maryland area, it's Maryland, right? If anyone's in the Maryland area, you got to go order some food from Nums Yum. What I love too is I think you've had to like hire people because you've been so busy. Am I right? So I love that you're nice and busy out there. And cream rises to the top here. Look at this. This is amazing. Just amazing. I'll have to commission you for like my 100,000 subscriber special. Maybe we can get you to help me turn the mullet over or something. We could do can we do a mullet cake? Should I do that? Should I grow a mullet for the 100,000 subscriber special? That'll be fun. All right, folks. Let's keep this party rolling over here. Let's play another voicemail. You guys are rocking it. Let's see what we got. Let's go to Mimi from Pittsburgh. You are up. Let me go back to the beginning here.
Hi, this is Mimi from Pittsburgh. Just calling to say that I think Katie needs to pack a suitcase and make a hometown in Akron and stay with my...
Wait a second. I already played this. Wait, Wednesday? Oh, maybe I didn't play this. Sorry, I thought I played this voicemail already. Let's go back to it. Oh, okay. You said you need... Okay, sorry about that, guys. Did you leave a voicemail earlier? I got all these voicemails from Wednesday, and I tried to get to all of them. Oh, yeah, that was an old one. All right, we played that on the voicemail episode. When there's a big event like what went down this week, I try to do an extra episode of just your voicemails. So keep calling in, and if I can't get to all of them in the live stream, I'll play them in a separate video. Hold on a second. This is so quiet.
So I'm embarrassingly invested in this. My husband's staring at me as we speak like I'm insane. But I just kind of wanted to weigh in. Honestly, I am not necessarily Team Greg. However, I do feel like I've been in Greg's shoes before. Literally having no reaction after he professes his love and just basically puts everything down on the line for Katie. She kind of shuts him down, and it's like, what? Then why am I still here? I don't think a lot of his actions and his words are justified, but I will say that I feel bad for him. And honestly, the ending was just super weird. Can we just say that montage at the end, I kind of thought he died. I got really nervous.
Part of him did.
So, yeah, I don't know if anyone else feels like this, but unpopular opinion, I feel like Greg needs to show up again and they need to get engaged.
That is an unpopular opinion right there. Absolutely. So Nums, thank you for the phone call. Numsyub says, I want y'all to guess the price. So I'm going to go with this. Now if this was in LA, let's just do this. This had to be at least, was this a day? Did this take a day to make? Maybe 4 or 5 hours. I have to go with I don't want to insult you because I feel like this could be like a $600 cake, but I also feel like you're in Maryland, so I don't know the pricing in Maryland. But I would say if someone got this cake for $100, and I haven't seen the comments, I'd have to say if someone got this cake for under $100, that is a steal. This has to be like a $250 cake, right? I'm going to go with $250. Lindsay guessed $200. See, Megan says $750, and I think you can do that. I think if you're in the right market, you can really upsell a good cake like this. It's, especially because it's so Instagrammable, it's so memorable. Jasmine says $300, Sarah says $200. So I'm saying under $100, you're way too low, and it should be around $250 at the bare minimum, and then up from there. Penda says $555. It's also for a 21st, which is probably means the parents are paying for it because no 21-year-old has the money. Bethany says $225. Sarah $200 to $400. All right, so we're in the mark. All right, so Nums, tell me what we're looking at. Natalie says, can you do a THC laced wedding cake? I don't see why not. Just don't tell your aunts and uncles. Let them figure it out a couple hours later when they're at the food truck drooling. Numsyum, I'll commission you. You're my official cake maker. Let me go ahead and blow up so I can just fly you out here to make a cake. That way we don't have to ship it. Mullet Dave, yeah, we're gonna mullet over. We're gonna turn the mullet over on that one. So Numsyums has the infused cookies coming soon to the secret menu actually, and I ship. Follow me for updates. Yeah, not only does Numsyums ship, it's a beautiful. I mean, you sent me just a beautiful ship. Sarai with a $5. Thank you so much. Sarah Winks posted my GoFundMe link. I can't click links you're gonna have to like maybe send it to my Instagram DM or something. I can't click links. I don't operate through the YouTube. I operate through a service. So like I'm actually not on YouTube right now. So that's why for some reason I can accidentally ban people though. Dave, you are endorsing this GoFundMe. Do you know the person asking for money? Is it Sarai's GoFundMe? If it's Sarai's GoFundMe, then I do know the person. If it's someone on behalf, jeez. Sarah goes, yes, he does. But do let me know beforehand if you need something to be promoted, because that way I can actually have it pulled up and all that. Nums, yeah, I know I'm a little behind, so I'm trying to see. Tara says 200, at least 200. All right, so we're all going with under 200, and like I said, we're gonna work on Nums Yum's pricing structure here if it's lower than 200. All right, okay, here we go. She goes, I charged 140. I do feel like I need to raise my prices just a tad, but love y'all for knowing my worth more than I do. Well, here's what you need to do. Can I help you? Let me help you out, guys. And I know I've talked about this before. Law of divine compensation. So here's what you need to do. This is very important stuff. I'm giving you guys some free advice here. Nums Yum. And again, listen, you charged 140, which covers your cost. By the way, beautiful photo. You've got a beautiful photo here. I don't want anyone to feel like they don't have a beautiful photo, but that's your eyebrow game. Very on point, Nums Yums. Very on point. Nums Yums, what's your actual, I don't have your name offhand. Sorry. I just referred to you as Nums Yum, so I do apologize here. What was I going to say? So, you can make it for 140, you turn a profit, but the good thing is if you have it in your portfolio, you know what I mean? You have the chance to go viral with, your reel, which is very important in the upper suites game. It's important to have a good social media because nobody's going to give you $300 if they don't know how badass it's going to look. You know what I mean? So A+ for getting it made. And now in the future, if they go, oh, well, you made it, Dave, I saw in Dave's live stream, you charged 140. In the future, you go, I undervalued it. It's about $220. And then you just get it to that price that it's worth you making, your time's very valuable. So anyway, Law of Divine Compensation. Marianne Williamson wrote this book. Of course, she ran for president this past president election in the Democratic primaries. The Law of Divine Compensation gives us the assurance that the universe will simply create a new route. What is lacking shall become abundant, and what is wounded shall be healed. From out of the blue or miracle-mindedness, miracles will flow forth naturally. The book's really great at just opening yourself up to what your self-worth could be. And again, I'm not saying you're selling yourself short. I'm saying you're creating some really good art. It's not just dessert. Someone go, oh, a cookie's only worth $7. Not if it's art. Okay, you're creating art that tastes really good. So up that price. And let's get you to a bigger market. The problem is that you have to ship some of this stuff. So that's got to be tough, right? That's got to be the problem, is that you don't exactly operate in a global marketplace right now as, say, like someone who wants to send me a Patreon from South Korea could. You know what I mean? So I understand that you're limited to getting things around. But, those cookies ship very well. I got those cookies from Maryland to Los Angeles, and I still had about a week's worth of. I probably ate those cookies for about 2 weeks. Actually, you know what? Did we eat one? We froze one and forgot we had it, and we ate it recently, and it was amazing. So anyway, it's a great price. Penda says raise that price. Yeah, like we said, now that you got that photo, now that you got like your thing going on, look at me. What the hell do I know? But like I said, if I knew if it was under 100, you just gave it away. 140, you probably turned a profit. I mean, what was your supply? Let me ask you this. This is great. Let me ask you this, Nums Yums. If you don't mind me sharing, how many hours, like beginning to end, how many hours was this, and what was your supply cost? So I want to know what your overall costs were here. Please let me know that. Rebecca wants to know what size the cake is. Well, according to these nips, I call them nips. I don't know what you guys call it. What do you call these? I call them nips. According to these, which are probably about 3 inches big, I'd have to say the cake itself is probably at least 10 inches tall. I'd say that's a 10-inch tall cake, just a guess. Probably like something like that. I don't know. What do I know? Let me go to the trying to go to the top of the comments so we can see. You have to think about the time you put in, and is $140 worth your time to stay sustainable? No, but spring. But here's the deal. Like we said, if it's also artwork that she can share on her portfolio, then it's good to do because now she can show that she can do it. She has proof of concept. It's really cool and all that. Rebecca says in Oklahoma that would be $250 at least with local pickup. Oh, good to know. Well, hey, Numsiums, screen grab these comments here. If anyone's like, oh, your price is a little weird, be like, well, according to my market research, $250. All right, so let's do that. Let's get her supply costs. Dave, stop the bird walk already, please. I don't know what bird walk means. I don't know what you're talking about. Stop the bird walk already, she says. 6-inch, 5 layers, she said. Wait, hold on. 6-inch. Wait, hold on. What do you mean 6-inch, 5 layers? You mean like 6-inch wide? I don't know what that means. Sure, Dave, but I'm talking about moving forward for her. No, absolutely, yeah. For sure, you go up to the $200 range. $199 if you're giving this thing away. $199 if you're giving it away. Let's go to another voicemail here. We'll get back to Numsiums. I got my eye on you. We're gonna find out what the price is. We're gonna find out what the breakdown is.
Hey,
here.
I'm Stacy. I'm calling from Rhode Island.
Rhodey!
Yeah, I just thought that the whole breakup situation was very upsetting for the both of them. I think coming from a perspective of someone who has like attachment issues, it seems as though like Greg has some major like anxious attachment kind of problems, and maybe Katie herself, like she's a little anxious, maybe anxious avoidant, because it seems like, yeah, she didn't want to say that she loved anyone before the end, but she definitely could have given him more reassurance. He was opening up to her, and all she said in response to that was, I love looking at you. That was a very shallow response, in my opinion, and I would be upset if I just started ranting and opening my heart up to someone and telling them how I truly felt, and then they just complimented my appearance. It would come across as very disgenuine. So yeah, I feel like his reaction was dramatic, but I also feel like it was highly edited, and I think his hometown was probably the first that was recorded, and then he had a few days to like think about it and sit on it and get even more and more upset, and he was just looking for more of a reaction out of her, and he was probably looking for her to like give him some true validation. He didn't really receive validation from her. Yeah, that's just my opinion. All right, bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, that pretty much mirrors what Dr. Diane was saying. So we're juggling a few thoughts right now. Back to Numsium. We know, so Numsium, I rounded you up to 6 hours there. You said 5 and change. We're going to round that up to 6 hours. You got 6-inch layers. That's what she said. We got that over there. Thank you so much. And did I say, now when the Rhode Islander called, I said RI or did I say RD? Now, I know it's RI because I'm from Rhode Island. If I said RD, then I'm just losing my mind. So I saw that someone correct me on that. Anyway, so 6 inches wide. That's not what she said. Wow, that's you're gonna leave you bow-legged. Each layer is 2 inches tall. All right. Yeah, tall cake. That's great. 6 inches wide is great. That's a good cake. It's very hard after I made mine. I made that very skinny one, that Harry Potter one, if you saw my vlogs. It was hard to not make mine lean on one side. I had to use chopsticks, but I don't know anything about cakes. I'm a novice here. But anyway, if you don't mind me asking, what was the supply cost? Now, obviously, you've got the equipment already prepaid for and all that, but so what was the cost for whatever paper goods you needed here? You obviously had to buy at least $10 worth of nips, right? Those are a couple bucks each. Barbie doll's not that's probably $25 right there. Well, let's get those costs from Numsiums. And again, if this annoys you, I do apologize. It's all because we believe in you. We really do. But I also understand how annoying it is to have strangers tell you what to do with your business. And I know it's hard to sell things, but like someone said, New York, this is a $600 cake. So maybe for all of the New York, you get all of the what's it called? The bat mitzvahs and all of those things that they spend a lot of money on in New York. You should have a price that'll be I'll drive it to New York City for for $1,100. You know what I mean? You should have different pricing options there, because I don't think you can get a custom thing like this in New York City. I could be wrong. I'm making you drive to New York. We're going to keep you busy, Numsiums. Numsium says, I don't think I would price it more than $170. I would be happy with charging $170, $180 for that. Okay, good. Yeah, and then if you make so many of them, you might get better at them, and maybe you can make several at a time if you're busy or whatever the case may be. Sarai sent me a DM. I'll get to that shortly. Reality Dave. No, please don't call me Reality Dave. Oh my gosh. I literally would just hit the end button. By the way, there's one button on this that ends the live stream, and I can't believe I haven't accidentally hit that before. It's like the FU button. If I hit this one button right here, it just goes away, for life. You'll never hear from me again. That's not true. So 5 hours, $50 an hour for taxes, cost, electricity. I haven't calculated it yet since I just did it that one today, but probably $40. Barbie, liquor, ingredients, box, board. Okay, so that's not bad. $40 isn't bad considering, general ingredients for baking isn't that, you probably get it at a good price since you're baking a lot. But anyway, I appreciate you indulging me in your business over there. Very fascinating stuff, Nums Yums. I like to keep track of the people that are doing good things over here on the Instagrams and wherever else. So we're very happy for you, Nums Yums. And I just like saying Nums Yums too. I'm gonna turn the mullet over to a new conversation here. Let's go to Sarai's GoFundMe and see what this is all about. All right, so let's see. I got it right there. Show pop up. 1 second here. Now I do know who this is. This isn't a rogue GoFundMe. It was good to find out that the last pet GoFundMe we had, sorry, it's not popping up. Hold on a second. Don't mind me. Sometimes the internet is really slow when I am trying to live stream. So I've got several people that have sent me the GoFundMe, and so far none of them are opening. So we'll get to that in a second. I'll let that load while I play another voicemail. Let's go to Claire from Canada. You're up next.
Hey, Dave. It's Claire from Canada.
Hi.
I first want to say that I know how manipulated this show is and always has been. But if the producers really set up Katie and Blake's hockey game nearby Greg's room, full well knowing how Katie and Greg had left things and how Greg was feeling, I feel like they crossed the line.
Yeah, they did that.
I know we don't know the details.
They did that.
But it could have been the last straw for Greg to initiate the breakup. And if that's the case, shame on you, Bachelor producers.
Shame on you indeed. Shame on you. No, of course they did that. There's 300,000 square feet of land at that resort. They filmed it outside of Greg's. Now, Blake Horseman mentioned the same thing when he was on his fantasy suites. When he had the time off, they brought him outside for like an interview. And then, who was it? I don't even remember. Becca Kufrin and Garrett flew over on one of those planes that lands on the water, and they had them watch it. And they were like, are you kidding me right now? No, of course they did that. All right, so here's Sarai's GoFundMe. They posted a link to it. Your cat's got an upper respiratory infection, and you've got, you need to take her to the vet. All right, so there it is. If anyone can donate any money, looks like a few people. Oh, look at that, Sharon. Oh, Sharon, how generous of you on your birthday. So much good karma coming for that, and Bruce and some other people. So thank you guys so much for that. Claire from Canada called again. 2 in a row, Claire.
Hey, Dave. It's Claire from Canada again. I hope you got my last message because I was just thinking maybe the producers knew that Greg and Katie weren't meant to be. And it was all their plan.
The more you know, folks, the more you know. You like that? Boy, I'm getting real good with my production value. I was able to, by the way, throughout this live stream, I was able to find out why this wasn't working. So I now have my cord working, which means flawless conversations will happen.
Hi, Dave. This is Annie from Orange County, California.
Hi, Annie.
I just wanted to say that I love your show. There are a lot of things behind the scenes that we don't see as an audience, and I do want to take that into account. But from what I saw on screen, I feel like Greg could have handled it better. It seemed like he was cutting her off a lot, and he didn't want to hear her out. I think that at the very least, he could have tried to understand where she was coming from. Okay, bye.
Bye. You got a good point there, Annie. Yeah. It was, and like I said in my conversation with Dr. Diane, which I knew it was going to go over well, but the comments y'all left on that video were amazing. The watch time was so high. I'm shocked that many people watched a 45-minute long video. Thank you guys for that. I made my Patreon only video afterwards to kind of like explain the process, but Dr. Diane and I had just met, and she was like, let's connect. And I was like, are you free? She goes, 2 p.m. And then we just booked it. And we had such a good conversation there. And she was just fantastic. Fantastic conversation about how Greg was so needy. When you're being needy, like you can't be needy and be charitable at the same time. You're either giving somebody a life raft or you're begging for a life raft. Now, to spiritually evolved people will already have a life raft, so they'll just be happy to help others. But in this case, Greg needed that life raft. So he couldn't help Katie and be like, hey, how you been, Katie? Are you doing okay? No, tell me it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Should we call my sister up? Let's call my sister up real quick. She's not going to be happy. My sister got the shot yesterday. She got the shot. Let's give Chase a call. She's going to be like, why are you calling me? Oh, hold on a second here. Hello, hello? She's not answering. She just texted me.
Please leave your message for...
Okay. Yeah, we tried, folks. We tried. Oh, Nums Yum's back to baking. Well, that's kind of funny. So you listen to me while you bake. I can only imagine, like, if I like started bringing up your reel and you, like, put down whatever, delicacy you were making. I just imagine Nums Yum. I always imagine bakers like it's like a rom-com or like, how like in every Hallmark movie, it's always like, I'm opening up a cupcake shop and, my competitor's right across the street and there's the Christmas like, frosting bake-off type of thing. And it's always just like it's always like a way better looking person with like their hair is like in a messy bun and they've got like a cute apron on and there's always like confectionery flour everywhere. You could be making raisin bread and there's still why is there so much confectionery? You know what I mean? Anyway, but anyway, Nums Yums, I'm happy for you. Put it that way. It looks like I think I'm a few behind. Looks like Nums Yum's got a couple followers today. Who knew we were going to be promoting cookies? You can tell I'm hungry. Okay, looks like I have to just, once in a while I see that I'm too far behind on the comments and I just have to kind of just plow through them. Super chats, while I never ask for them, are the surefire way to get my attention. Sometimes you should see it. I mean, you know how it is. I'm trying to talk and just numbers are flying. All right, here we go. Let's see what this is all about.
So I'm just still very suspicious of Blake. I know everybody's kind of just gone over the fact that people think that he's there for the wrong reasons, and I think he's there to be famous because he had the opportunity to pursue Katie in her DMs and outside of the show long before, but then as soon as she's on the show, he just dives right in. And I know this is all repeat, but I just wanted to bring it back up because everybody seems like they're over it.
Well, thank you for that. Bye. No, here's the deal, right? It was actually explained very well by Blake and his mom. Blake thought he was going to be able to see Katie Thurston at Bachelor in Paradise. You have to remember, these are two different countries. He liked her. He liked Katie before they had ever met. Okay? So much so, he told his buddy, who he plays hockey with, to go on The Bachelorette, not knowing it was going to be Katie. Okay? So then once he finds out it's Katie, he goes, oh my gosh, I actually watched her season, and I actually really thought I would like her. And what if she falls in love with another guy? I'm going to miss out on this. And then he pursues it. So actually, in my eyes, while I respect how you might look at it, I see it as a very very, very positive love story in the making. Danica said, didn't Blake slide into Katie's DMs pre-show? Oh, he slid, baby. Yeah, he gave the old Canadian slide right in. Yeah, he did. Yep. But I don't think he knew she was going to be the Bachelorette. I don't think he knew. I really don't. You're referring to the spam. Yeah, it's always a good sign when we have some spam hitting us. Always a good sign. I'll tell you what, I did want to cover some topics that I will re-air as a separate clip in the morning. It helps me get an extra 30 minutes of sleep. You know what I mean? If I can just bang out a few things tonight. So let me just clear the deck here so I have something I can show in the morning. And just give me a second here. We are at the 1:06, 1 hour and 6, and then let's get right into a quick topic. Ladies and gentlemen, today's early morning featured story here. We actually have some news that Caitlin Bristow and Tayshia Adams are quarantining for Michelle Young's Bachelorette season. So we have a lot happening right now with Michelle Young's season. They are beginning filming like right now this week. They've already possibly eliminated some guys that were on the, like, might be on the show, might not, on the cusp. We see a few guys that have had their Instagram profiles back to public. So that means that they either were cut on the first night or they didn't make the show. So while we've got Caitlin and Tayshia, because a lot of people were wondering, are they... let's get into that story in a second. Everyone's wondering, like, are they going to be signing Caitlin and Tayshia to long-term deals? What are they going to be doing with them as co-hosts? And as it turns out, they did just sign deal. Now, this information, while it's been out for a few days, wasn't in the front of the newspaper due to all of the actions happening with Katie Thurston's season, but they're currently co-hosting the 17th season of Bachelorette starring Katie Thurston. Season finale airs this Monday. Of course, then Bachelor in Paradise already filmed, so that'll take place. They're not part of that as far as we know. And then in October, this will start airing, which is Caitlin and Tayshia as co-hosts. We don't know what will be happening with them moving forward after this season. Maybe they'll be back for the next season of Bachelorette. But it says they signed a multi-year deal, which, again, usually gives the studio the power to control their contract. So if the studio decides they want to keep rehiring them, they can do that. Whereas if they decide to, like, let them go, they can do that as well. How much they're making? What is it, as much as Chris Harrison? My guess is no. Chris Harrison, hosted for 19 years. My guess is it won't be as much. I don't know if they're getting producer credit. Heck, this season, I don't even think they were given, like, hosting credit. You know what I mean? They've been called mentors and this and that. It's like, can we define the relationship already? So, but technically it's like, look, should they both be getting as much as Chris Harrison got? That, if you stepped into someone else's job, there's the people that say, well, if you're doing someone else's job, you should get paid whatever they got paid. And then there's the people that say, well, if that person did it for 20 years and they came up with a company and they got paid gradually, then you shouldn't get paid as much. I don't really know. I think the pay is, in a good six-figure amount. They get to hang out, for a month in Minnesota, shoot the show with Michelle Young, and then their jobs are done. I don't think they do any post-production on the show. I think they meet back up after the final rose. What's more important moving forward is the news that just broke out here. Bachelor names Jody Baskerville. Is it Baskerville or Baskerville? Baskerville. First black executive producer in franchise history. Now, the fact that this took 2 decades is problematic, to say the least. But after a season ago getting Matt James, the first black mixed race bachelor, and then, several years earlier, Rachel Lindsay, what we've learned, and many people have known this for a long time, is that the storytelling on the show isn't just about who you put as the face of the show. It's not just about Matt James. It's about the power that the producers have, which they're the writers, they're the editors, they're the people that make the decisions. It's the power that they have to make the storyline not cliche, not racist. You know what I mean? To make the storyline not, some sort of like, having, when Matt James, when they surprised him with his dad on the show and they did this whole like unavailable dad trope, which doesn't mean that story wasn't true. It means they leaned into that stereotype versus we didn't get to see Matt James's like goofy side. There were so many layers to him we didn't get to see that it makes you wonder if in the right hands would we have had a more delicate storyline. And now we've got a executive producer, the first one, black executive producer on the show. Back in March, and escalating controversy surrounding former host Chris Harrison, ABC Entertainment and Warner Horizon committed to hiring an executive producer of color for The Bachelor. Variety has exclusively learned that the franchise has named its first ever black executive producer, Jody Baskerville, a veteran producer who has been with The Bachelor franchise. Oh, so she's been with the show for 10 years. Okay, now so she got elevated She got elevated to EP. Numerous individuals close to production tell Variety, which I understand an executive producer has more control over a producer, but it's not like we're adding more voices. We're just promoting the voices that were already there. All right, while I'm happy that this is going on, I don't know if this is the sort of like groundbreaking change we're looking for in the show. And again, it's not to take away from anyone else who's been cast on the show. It's just, like I said, adding more flavor to the show, more differencing of opinions and backgrounds and how to tell the story. Baskerville, sources say, will begin her role as EP on season 18 of The Bachelorette, which recently began production and premieres this fall. The upcoming season will star Michelle Young, a runner-up from Matt James' season of The Bachelor, who identifies as a BIPOC and will become the first woman of color to star in the leading role. Oh, I'm sorry. Will become the third woman of color after Rachel Lindsay and Tayshia Adams to star in the leading role, following Rachel Lindsay and Tayshia Adams, who is biracial. Jumped ahead of myself there. Baskerville's promotion is a major step forward for the franchise, the hit dating series, which premiered in 2002 and featured predominantly white cast since its launch. I mean, it's true. They only had token people of color. They'd get voted off by the third week. This is absolutely how it went down. And of course, Rachel Lindsay has criticized them, saying, "You're not bringing people onto the show that want to date people of color." You know what I mean? She's been criticizing them for that. Over the past few years, the Bachelor franchise has focused its efforts on increasing representation both on and off screen. In recent seasons, there have been more BIPOC cast members on the franchise, creating a larger pool of diverse contestants from which future leads can be selected. James' season featured the most diverse group of contestants in the franchise's history, and roughly half of Young's upcoming suitors for season 18 identify as BIPOC. So anyway, as for behind-the-scenes inclusion efforts, Variety reported earlier this year that employees on the Bachelor franchise have attended workshops with diversity experts, and that the franchise has hired consultants to recruit more people of color across departments, from set design to casting. Casting's a big one. Set design, sure, yeah, but I think casting and producing is the most important. Getting these editors to actually, know what kind of story they're telling. As part of the hiring process, recruiters are approaching students from sororities and fraternities at historically black colleges and universities. I'll say this: SNL, Saturday Night live from New York. It's Saturday night. SNL has a casting problem where they were casting just white people. They only recently got their first Asian American. They had a big drought where they had a huge shortage of black female comedians, and everyone was waiting. They were going, well, we're going to all the improv comedy shows and we're only seeing white people. It's not our fault. And then you go, look, improv comedy costs $500 a class. Improv comedy you have to do if you have the right socioeconomic backbone, parents paying for it, well off, this and that. There's more people of color do stand-up comedy, which is lower barrier of entry to get into. So it wasn't that they weren't looking, it's that they were looking in the wrong places. Now, Bachelor producers, they do casting calls at malls. They do friends of friends. They're not always looking in the right places. They need to look at places that they're not currently looking to find more diverse cast members. I think that's what they need to do. Of all those efforts, however, seem to be overshadowed by Harrison's scandal. So they get into the whole scandal, this and that. But anyway, very important announcement that they have going on there, that they've got a promotion happening. We'll have to see what that turns into, and we'll have to see what kind of story Michelle Young tells this year. Now, we know from Katie Thurston's season and plenty of seasons in the past, Matt James' season, that there are tons of hours of footage that never make the air, that are left on the cutting room floor. And then months later, after we have the story in our mind, they'll show this really cool scene that's really fun. And you get to see a different side of the character. And you go, where was that? Why were we too busy, worrying about Queen Victoria when we didn't get to see the joyful, high energy, jovial Matt James? We only got stressed out Matt James. Is that really the side of Matt James we wanted to share? And what leads moving forward are going to want to be on the show if you're just going to show only their worst and most dramatic moments? So Bachelor producers have been guilty of many things. One of which is like throwing Chris Harrison to the wolves when they were just as much a part of the problem. You understand? They've been such a big part of the problem, and yet they all kept their job, and they were like happy to sacrifice the weakest buffalo. You know what I mean? They're like, we love you, Chris Harrison, but your time's up. And they just kept on going and cashing their paychecks. So we're going to be having to hold them accountable as an audience and a fan base that we cherish Michelle Young. She's a dynamic educator, a beautiful woman, and she's smart. She's charming, and I really hope this season the guys rise to that occasion. We'll have to see how it all goes down. Let me know what you guys think. See how I did that, folks? You see how we did that? We just nailed it. That's a little video for the morning that went up. Just some of that, information that, while I think is a big deal, there's so much being searched right now for the Katie Thurston scenario. Let's see, is it leave a voicemail? I'm trying to get my content back up. And let's go to a voicemail because I'm starting to lose my voice. So let's see if we have any voicemails. It looks like we have Amika calling in from the Bay Area.
Hey, my name's Amika. I'm calling in from California, Bay Area. And I feel bad for Katie because I feel like if she picks Blake now, people are always going to think that was her second choice when maybe editing made it seem that way. I know that happened to Rachel and Brian on her season. So I feel bad for Katie. That's all. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, no, I totally hear you. Now, listen, there's Justin and Blake left. So depending on who she chooses, will she end up with a guy who can watch this and still understand that, like, just because she went through that heartbreak, it doesn't mean she doesn't love you. Like, are Blake and Justin strong enough? And I think they actually both are, to watch that back and go, okay, well, look, I mean, they showed a timeline of Katie's season, and like Blake was only on the show for like 17 days at this point, something crazy like that. So Blake has only been on the show for a brief amount of time. You can't possibly think your relationship is that far along. But as far as the show goes, if they get engaged and then their real engagement and their real dating starts as soon as the show's over, then so be it. And if they don't work out, who cares? If they don't work out, there's no pressure. Most relationships on the show don't work out, so there really is no pressure. But by all means, Katie's got to go for someone that might be, the most sustainable option in the future. All right, let's see. Last call for voicemails. Let's see if we missed anything here. I want to make sure we got it all. You guys have been fantastic. So, all the comments this week, I can't get back to all of them. Trust me when I say I've prided myself in the past of getting back to a ton of comments, but it's insane. I have to only go, I get stuck in the weeds there. Natalie Hickman, Brian, Bruce, Sharon, Anonymous. Thanks all for supporting Sarai's GoFundMe there. Going a long way, folks. Let's see if we got, going back to the top of the comment section here. Sorry for all the comments I missed. Just no time to read them all. Sarai says, she is stunning. I think you're referring to Michelle Young. Cherie says, hopefully we see more changes. Yeah, it's just going to come down to it's almost like you don't recognize the fouls until you flagrantly see them. The fouls being how the show will go for quick drama over long-term happiness. Over long-term happiness. Sage says Ari. You don't want Ari to be on the show, do you? Oh, no. Sorry, I thought you meant you wanted Ari to host. I was like, please don't. Please don't do that. Ash and Kirsten just joined. Good to see you guys. Elise was gorgeous. There have been a couple that made it past night one in All Bachelor. Did I miss the final rose ceremony review? No, the final... you mean the final rose ceremony preview? No, Cynthia. We ended up actually looking at layered cakes. We had a little bit of a divergence happening there. Let's see if there's any more voicemails. As far as the preview goes, the final rose ceremony, no spoilers and none of that, but the final rose ceremony, this episode is going to be because I'm sure that Greg Grippo, there's still a storyline there. I'm sure it's not over. There's going to be some fallout conversation. Then we've got fantasy suites, Blake and Justin, I'm assuming. And then we have a final rose. And then we have after the final rose. Now, the after the final rose will be fascinating. Katie has already alluded to the fact that she lays into people. So we'll have to see how that all goes. We'll have to see if the crowd flips on her. My thought is Katie's, even if she's angry and upset and all these things, I think she does a good job of coming across in a healthy way. So I can't imagine she's going to go scorched earth, as it were. Haley said, totally random, but I need another F-Boy Island recap. The episodes released today were insane, and I need to rant. Yeah, I need to watch those too. So I think I'm going to watch those tonight. I'm going to try to watch those tonight, and that should be up. I'll get that up tomorrow. I'll have my F-Boy recap up tomorrow of the next 3 episodes. Yeah, catch up. The interview with the therapist was fantastic. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Diane. Yeah, I got a ton of views today. Erica says we're talking about redheads on The Bachelorette. Good. I had no idea what you were talking about. Kirsten's work's been really intense lately. Well, we're sorry to hear that. I hope she's able to take some deep breaths and get through it, and tell her we all wish her well. Haley says it ends on a big-ass cliffhanger, so we'll have to see what that cliffhanger's all about. I had someone who wanted... Here's what happens. I'm not afraid to talk about this. I get publicists that reach out to me all the time, and I've had people on my podcast before, and I don't like when people reach out to me. A lot of times I question not the actors, but the publicist. I question, they get paid to publicists get paid to get their clients impressions, right? And there is a person on the F-Boy Island whose publicist is trying to get me to interview them, and I was going to do it on Skype, but they wanted to do it in person, and I just... You guys know me. I'm so busy that I actually don't think it's worth it for me. So, I was talking to my fiance last night, Tatasha, and I was like, why should I go out of my way to help a publicist out when it doesn't grow my brand? You guys don't really care if I interview someone from F-Boy Island or not. I mean, it might be good, but it also might get 1,000 views when I can just, make a breaking news story about Dale's toes and get 10,000 views. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be a little bit more selfish with my own boundaries with my business, and be like, I've gotten so many people reaching out to me that want to do things, and it is nice. I guess my point is this: it's nice to say no sometimes. Hunter's in the chat. Hunter, how's it going with your boss? Has he given you that raise you've been looking for? You know what I'm talking about? That raise you've been looking for? Hit the wrong button. All right, I guess we're wrapping it up, folk. We are wrapping it up. Do you really think Grocery Store Joe makes 6 figures off of his podcast? Yes. It was spoken about. Jason Tartick was offered a podcast. You can listen to his podcast, which is Jason Tartick's podcast is called Trading Secrets, and he shares some influencer info. And he was offered a 6-figure podcast, which I'm sure he commanded a little bit more than Grocery Store Joe, but he was offered 6 figures to do a podcast in Bachelor Nation. But part of his decision not to do it, I believe, was that Caitlin Bristow has her off the vine. And it's kind of like if Caitlin Bristow does a Bachelor-themed podcast and then you do one, it's like it could they could eat away at each other's numbers. So being the financial guy that he is, he does that now. And I think his financial podcast is fantastic. But Sarah says, yes, Dave, give us F-Boy Island. I mean, I'm just telling you, maybe I'll do some interviews, but I don't know. Shoni says, I'm down for Scorched Earth. I think I'm a few minutes behind on the comments. Few minutes behind. Let me go back to the top here. Laura said, yes, the interview was so good. Thank you for having her on, and I hope she will be back. Yeah, that's what you get. It totally unplanned. No prep work whatsoever. Just a couple folks talking about love. Yeah, Erica, go check out F-Boy Island. I'm not on the fence. I like it, but I texted Reality Steve because he's covering it. He's like he's doing some advertising for them. If you've seen his Instagram. So he's watched some of the episodes ahead of time. And I was like, I don't know. I'm on the fence. 1 to 3 was good, but like I could see why they dumped 3 in a row because the third one was definitely the best. Like he started to get some investment, and then he was like, oh yeah, like 4, 5, 6, it like picks up a lot. It's like, all right, well, we'll see. We will see. Now Sarah says, I would love it, Dave, but who am I? No, listen. I guess I've just been burned in the past by publicists. Because it's like they come over, you interview their client. The client doesn't want to be there. That's the thing. If it's somebody like Dr. Diane, she's like, oh yeah, I'd love to talk to you. There's like a mutual thing there happening. When it's set up through a publicist, it's almost like, all right, it's like a mom setting up a play date. So like, I'm not sold. If the publicist is listening, I'm just not sold. I'll do a Zoom. I'm not sold. You got to cherish what you do. Like, this is my thing. I had someone on, I don't even remember her name. She was on a TV show years ago. And the publicist just sat in the other room, and you could tell like I was asking the questions, and you could tell like the actress that I had on was like, she was like polite, and then she left and like didn't promote it, never heard from her again. It's just very lecherous to me. That's all. That is all, baby. Regine said, what is it about Dale's toes? You didn't miss anything. It's nothing at all. SJ says, Dave, you need a day off. For God's sake, you made 100 videos this week. Well, when it rains, you got to make corn. Is that when God made rain, God made corn makes whiskey makes my girl a little frisky? How does that work? What's the saying there? Point is it's a good part of the season for me to open up the floodgates and let the abundance come in, because my channel has gone up 50% this week. Not the subscribers, but the actual views. The views went up 50% this week because there's a lot to talk about. So it's much easier to make the content when there's a lot in the news. Now, when there isn't a lot in the news, you'll know it, because I'll be like, breaking news story. Chris Harrison liked a tweet about a dog. You know what I mean? Spring says, do what feels right. Yeah, I'm here. I'm doing it. You know what feels right is not having to base my schedule off of other people. That's what feels right to me. Nancy says, off topic, do you know what happened with Ashley and JD? I think they just fell out of love. He filed for divorce. I don't know anything farther. Hunter says, the relationship you may or may not be pursuing tagged you in a Facebook post today, so I finally DM'd him a little bit ago. Good to know. Holly Wood says, if Katie does pick Blake, do you think they'll be one of the lasting couples? I don't. I think she's at the age where she could take a relationship very seriously. And by seriously, I mean they can have a blast. They can love deeply. They can be out and about. If she chooses Blake, I think he's a guy that has a fun life. He's an animal guy. He's gregarious. He's got a great family, as it appears. So they've got the makings for it. But, if I had to put my money on it, statistically, a lot of relationships don't work. I don't see her as being any like vacuous. I don't see her like sort of not investing. She seems like the real deal to me. I would give them a good shot. But also, if she ended up with Justin, we just don't know enough about Justin. He's been hard to read. Justin's been hard to read. Minerva said, I love the interview you did with Blake's mom. Yeah, I loved it too. I had a great time talking to her. What's interesting is Blake, he deleted a comment he said to me. I noticed that. So he posted that taking shots of maple syrup, and I was like, dude, amazing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm from New England. We love maple syrup. And he said, you can have, and then he responded, and he goes something like, come up anytime for maple syrup. We'll have a party. And then the next, I went to go show Tasha, and then the comment was gone, and I was like, I wonder if the producers didn't want you to hang out with Belizean bad boy. All right. Hello, loved by you. Good to see you. All right, let's go. Let's get through these. All right. Sarah says, we really can't get a good read on Justin. I like him. I just don't think they haven't showed him that much. Elizabeth said, missed the face analysis. Why would Katie say she and Blake burn out? You mean from the I don't really understand the question. I might have missed an earlier question. SJ said, trust me, I watched all the videos this week just looking out for you. Well, thank you. No, but the videos are performing very well, which means I make more money. And if there are weeks where I can increase my revenue, then you just gear down and you go, you know what? let's go all in. Like next week, I got a podcast lined up. I'm going to do Justin Takes the Batches podcast review. I'm going to be making a ton of content after that. And then maybe once Bachelor in Paradise starts, I can settle down a little bit. But it'll be a busy couple weeks. It's all good. I'm getting plenty of sleep here. Christina says, when it comes to growth and development for ourselves, we have to start saying no. It's not being selfish. It's about valuing your time and yourself. You know what's funny though? When you say no, people react really. When I used to invite people onto my podcast when I had like no following and I'd get a no, I'd be like, damn, this person said no to me? Wow. Because I was operating in such a place where I'd be happy to do anything that you realize like, yeah, I mean, I work long days and I love what I do, but it does, you do have to realize like, hey, this isn't worth my time. Like, having boundaries. And that's hard to do when you're a people pleaser. Hard to do when you're a people pleaser. All I want to do is make people happy. Erica says, Dave be praying for a shit show so his numbers go up. Well, yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, it's one of those things that it's like, oh boy. No, but it's also, like when Dale and Claire broke up, that's when my channel started to take off. When they got back together, that was a big story too. Like, I would much rather people get back together. I would much rather do stories that are Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell getting back together than do stories of like infidelity or breakup. So, but both, when Rachel Kirkconnell, I was driving to Starbucks, this is like February or whatever. I was driving to Starbucks because it's like, stay at home order, nothing to do. The only thing you can do is do like Starbucks drive-thru. That was like my big thing for the day. I was like, I'm going to get out of the house. I'm going to go to Starbucks. It'll be fun. I drove to Burbank, which is where my fiance's pharmacy is, which is actually like half an hour away. She goes to this one pharmacy. It's farther away. She's working. I said, I'll go pick up your medicine. So I go all the way to Burbank to pick her medicine up, and I'm like, after I get your medicine, I'm going to go to a Starbucks. It's going to be amazing. I literally pull into a Starbucks, my phone starts going off. Oh my gosh, Rachel Kirkconnell just released a video, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I just pulled out of the parking lot, shifted. I don't even have a manual. I shifted my car. I made it a manual, and I went down there. I turned the mullet over, and I went down there, and I got home, and I made the video, and it exploded. I covered the Rachel Kirkconnell story, and I realized, geez, I have to be ready for this news when it comes out. I could make 10 videos in a row that get X amount of views, but if you are there, and this is for any content creator, if it's a timely thing, you got to be there when the news is made, and or else, like there was one random Friday afternoon when like Kelly Flanagan made an Instagram story of her like calling out Pilot Pete, and I was like, it was like Friday at 7 p.m. at night. I was like, no one's online right now. I got to make this video. And I was like the only person to cover it, and it got a ton of views. So I enjoy covering it, but also have to be flexible enough to know that when like news breaks, just, just get on it. If you're going to cover the thing, you might as well get the most out of it. Definitely love a good happy ending, Adam, Amy Greenwood. It looks like your man likes one too. He's very happy in that photo. Is that a wedding photo, you two? That's a happy ending. You know what I'm talking about. He does. Give it to him. Someone said Katie posted about the face analysis that was done and she and Blake would burn out. Yeah, okay. No, thank you for elaborating. The face analysis is kind of like, it's kind of like reading someone's astrological charts. It's like, it's good and all, but it's like, come on, like you can really read into a lot of the things. It said her and Blake would be great lovers. It said Blake's got a big chin, so he's very giving. And I'm like, giving of what? Using that chin as a, he's giving himself lockjaw maybe. I don't know. Oh boy. So yeah, but it also said that Greg would end poorly. I'm gonna get rid of the voicemail button there. It also said Greg would end poorly and some other things. So who knows? Sage says, I remember all those toe videos with news back in the day. Yeah, that was a fun time in our history. We've grown a lot this year, folks. We have a lot of growth that we've done. Amy says, how could someone like Justin come all the way to the end and we not have a clue who he really is? Well, I'm assuming he got as much a time with Katie as the other people, so I'm assuming Katie knows who he is. But clearly, what happens a lot early on in the season is they'll bury the lead. Right? They'll make it look like someone who's not going to make it that far does well. They'll throw us curveballs, but the curveball has lasted long enough. It's like, what are you going to do? By the way, Amy, beautiful photo. You look like you're in a Mumford & Sons music video. I very much like that. Let me know how it is being in a Mumford & Sons music video. Very nice. Very Coachella chic right there. I do mean that with sincerity. Very nice photo. Did I see the nip slip pic of Katie's guys? Justin has like a tat on his side. It was way hotter to me. I didn't see that, but Justin to me does have a lot of great qualities. Like, he seems like a fun guy. He's creative. He's very talented. Husband's sister. Oh, that was at your husband's sister's wedding. Oh, that's fun. It's always nice to be on the outskirts of a wedding. Like, you know, you're not like the sister. You're not like the maid of honor, but you're like, you get to like have all the perks in the open bar. Oh, to have a nice drink at a wedding. Texas C-Star found you this season. Your commentaries make watching the shows much more bearable. Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. I much appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. All right. I think that's it for me. Any last comments? Get them in. Get in those last comments. Let me see if there's any voicemails I missed. I got to get out of here. Oh, we have 2 voicemails. Oh, this is Grace from Lyme, Connecticut. Lyme, Connecticut is the epicenter of Lyme disease. I believe that's where they studied it and named it Lyme disease.
Hey, Dave. This is Grace from East Lyme, Connecticut. I love you and Tasha so much. Love your channel. I remember Katie saying that Blake's sister was going to be hard on her, so I think that she doesn't like what happened with Greg and is now questioning her relationship with Blake. Let me know how you think about that. Bye.
Bye, Grace. I love the name Grace. I think I would name my daughter Grace. I think that's a good name. Grace. We should all have more Grace in our life. Grace from East Lyme, Connecticut. I feel like that was tongue-in-cheek. I feel like Katie probably has a good... Like, I don't see Greg's sister as being, like, cutthroat. I see her being tough. Like, she was tough. I'm sorry. Blake's sister. Blake's sister was tough on Blake, but in, like, a loving way. Like, I didn't catch it like she's gonna be a ruthless person. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't think Katie would have given that away if it was an actual like point of concern. All right, Jessica from Southern California.
Hi, Dave.
Close us
This
out.
is Jessica. I'm calling from Southern California, and I'm currently just hopped on your live, but I wanted to leave a voicemail about the whole Greg and Katie thing, since it seems like that's all the world can talk about right now.
Right?
I just wanted to say that I think that it was edited just because it seemed so different from Katie's behavior up until that point. Katie has held herself as someone that is super empathetic, super warm, super engaging, and she seems to respond to really heavy conversations extremely well. And I just don't think that was her immediate response to what was being said. And the reason why I think that is because you never actually see the two of them on screen as that scene is taking place, which makes it really easy to cut and slice. So I do think it was edited, and I think that knowing the fact that it's edited, I get sort of annoyed when I'm seeing these other people in Bachelor Nation criticize Katie for her response when I'm like, you weren't there. She could have said way more and it'd be cut out for a certain narrative to become. But the fact that people are calling for Greg to be the Bachelor because of it is just wild to me. It's absolutely wild and crazy and ridiculous. I watched your therapy video earlier today, and it was amazing and it was awesome.
Thank you.
All about attachment styles, and it was really, really good. But I'm definitely Team Katie. I think that she was so apologetic and so heartfelt, and she genuinely seemed lost and confused in her eyes, like baffled almost that it was happening. But he showed his true colors that night, and that's all that matters. Okay, I've rambled on too much. Talk to you later, and keep up with the videos. Can't wait for the finale. Bye.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the phone call, and I'm glad you enjoyed the conversation. So we had here, this is going to be about, just to wrap things up here, Tara says, I was late. Did he reveal the cookie clue? Yeah, it was super simple. The cookie clue is super simple here. Let's see if we can go to it. In this video, oh, you're not even going to be able to see it. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it. You know what? Let me see if there's any way for me to pull it up. Other people in my DMs had sent me a cleaner image, so just hold on a second. You know, a cookie in a movie isn't an actual cookie. It's like a little a little teaser that you find out. So let's see if I can figure out who found the cookie here. Oh my gosh, I have so many DMs right now. Oh my gosh. Let's see if M. Lambert has it. Hold on a second. Yeah, this is it right here. So someone's got the cookie. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. So this was the video I made, and then the cookie would be, this is really bad, but in the search bar of this video, it says linen shirt Dave forever. So there's the cookie. You found it? So very small. I think I'll start leaving more cookies in the future. Oh, the battery's gone. Hold on, folks. I'm not ready to sign off. Give me, oh, hold on. Whoa, what was that? Hold on one second, folks. I leave on my terms. All right, let me just wrap this up. I'm getting out of here. Let me make sure we got through everybody. It looks like we're good. You guys are fantastic. Last comments. Dave, what's the cookie clue? All right, sorry, I told you that. You got the cookie clue. Thank you all. Okay, battery's done. Yeah, that's right. So, right, good note. Battery's done. That means I'm done. No, I had this $15 thing that connected my camera to a power source, and that stopped working. I don't know what happened. You buy these stupid little doodads. They work half the time. They don't. So anyway, I'm back to battery powered, but obviously after like 70 minutes, that's enough for that. So anyway, nice hanging out with all of you. Must not be able to hear that music. Wait, Dave must not be able to hear that music playing. Are you talking about this music on right now? Sometimes it's on too loud. I'm trying my best. Texas C-Star says, go have dinner with Tasha. I haven't made any dinner. Yeah, technical difficulties, just like the good old days. Thank you so much, Angel, for catching a live. What are you laughing at, Tasha? Dinner date? Come on over and share it with me. Come say hi to everybody. Oh, you wanted to talk, and then I said, come on over. And she goes, no, I'm working. My battery just died, Tasha. SJ says, are we calling it? Yeah, we're calling it, folks. That's going to be it for me. I'll have probably 3 or 4 videos up tomorrow. We'll see if there's any more news that comes in. As always, thank you. No, sir. Winks, thank you. Tosh and Dave should host The Bachelor. No, I don't know. I like what I do. I mean, for the right price, I'd do anything, really. For the right price. But it would be, it would go to my head. If I was the host of The Bachelor, I would show up on set in like a fur jacket being like, do not look at talent. You know what I mean? All right, Ash and Kirsten, take care. Tell Kirsten I said hi. Nums Yums, continue making that amazing artwork you're creating over there. Go get the book Law of Divine Compensation, or just Google it. Google the Law of Divine Compensation, and they'll teach you a few things to, positive mantras to continue to let the abundance in. Before you know it, you're going to be opening up your own, whatchamacallit. You already have your own bake shop, but you need to hire some, you need to really have a full, you need a West Coast location. That's what you need. Nums Yums all over the world. All right, do me a favor. Let's flip that mullet over and have a good one. All right, folks, good to see you all. Take care. Yeah, as Sarah said, bump the Harry on the way out, please. And I didn't mention this, but thank you so much for 38,000 subscribers. We had 38,000 today. We're at 38,100 now. Flip the mullet. That's like the end of like a redneck, game show. Let's see who's behind that third prize. Flip that mullet. I think that's 3.8 billion. No, 380 million. You have your commas off. I'll take it.
Find time. Just want the mood to be right. Keeping it low in the night, yeah.
Yeah, 38,000 is a large baseball stadium, but too small for a football stadium. I just took Tasha to Thai food last night. Nums Yums at her home. Yeah, Nums Yums. We need to get you a shop in like a cool part of town where people can like window, window shop. Nums Yums, if you ever open a bake shop, let me do a late night stand-up show there. We'll do a late night. We'll do a nighttime stand-up show at your bake shop, and the price will be, we'll charge admission, and then people will have to have like a 4 cookie minimum. They'll have to buy cookies. Yeah, Sarah's got it. Get me a football stadium following. Let's do 65,000 screaming people.
Tell me, how do I get inside? Open up your mind. In this I know how to win a fight. Cause it's just my habit. I can't describe it. And she can talk about it like
Yeah, Nums Yums, I've performed at plenty of coffee shops, plenty of bistros, cool little places like that. I totally recommend that. Absolutely. Local artists. I'll just come in and eat all the cookies. Set me up with a tab. Just charge me at the end of the month. And you know what, Bruce? There's only a few of us left.
I will never get it right. I still have you on my side. Staying night after night. Cause you're mine. Cause it's just my habits.
This song is called My Habits by CLNGR Klinger. Okay, good night, everybody. Turn that mullet over. Bye now.